Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Mystery Dungeons and Dragons: The Lanwell Chronicles. Ice is currently having a nice vacation, so he will not be joining us, but we still got everyone else here, so I believe Quill hasn't done the recap in a while, so Quill, have fun.
Oh, great. Okay, we started last time. We woke up and the mystery dungeon we were in. Uh, uh, Blaster shows up through an ultra wormhole and tries to get us to leave, but we convince him to leave a portal open so we can evacuate the citizens. Uh, Pierce and Andrea, uh, I spelled that wrong, probably. Whatever. The other guy will evacuate the inn while we go deeper. We start to head over to, I believe his name is Cyrus's place to get the Beast Slayer sword, but we encounter a bunch of Nihilego attacking the civilians, so we save them. Uh, After defeating the Nihilego, we head to the next part of the gauntlet and fight Alan slash Burst. Um, After Renewal pacifies Alan, everyone else takes out the wisps and gets those civilians to safety. And then we head up to the final part of the gauntlet where we fought Elizabeth slash Lightning, uh, and Maribel, who we managed to save with a nice nat 20 dispel magic. And then we saved all the townspeople against all odds.
Well, that was not much flavor in that recap, but it gets the
My
central
brain
gist.
is my brain is sore. Cut me some slack.
Roll yourself the d6.
Still shaking off the morning.
3.
Alright, the average fish blessed you too. Okay, so yeah, you guys managed to rescue basically most of the outskirts town's Pokemon, and after sort of helping corral them, Sergey left on his own to offer some healing services to them and also help them sort of set up a bit of a refugee camp outside where the portal is so that way they can be settled down and situated for the night while help comes later and so they're not exposed to the elements or not panicking in any or anything like that. The wormhole is still active, but the town itself is fairly quiet now. You do see the occasional Nihilego, but oddly, they don't seem to be aggressive. They don't haven't attacked you or focused on you. They just sort of seem to be the few that are remaining just seem to sort of be floating around. You're not sure whether it's because all of their leaders are currently not giving them commands or what, but the few Nihilego remaining in town just sort of seem to be floating around. You've got you last time captured Lightning, and we didn't outright establish it, but I assume she's restrained in some way.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably with chains since they are not flammable.
Hmm.
She's the one
Um,
with lightning, not fire.
Well, lightning can catch things on fire if you run enough current through stuff.
Fair enough.
Before Sergey goes, I say to him, "You sure you're gonna be okay out there, Sergey?"
Yes,
Uh,
I will be fine.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just wanted to. All right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so you guys are still in this mystery dungeon town. You've got lightning there. What do you want to do?
So if we bring her out of the mystery dungeon, isn't that bad?
As far as we know.
And then
She should
which?
at least be safe inside the portal.
But we can't just let her go too.
Yeah, I don't know what we're supposed to do here.
Uh, but maybe we should just take it as it comes. And weren't we supposed to go back to where those wisps were and talk to?
Yes, we should.
Uh, I'll ask Cyrus. Could you maybe watch her?
Honestly, I want to do. Honestly, I want to get rid of her more than just watch her. But yeah, sure, you guys still want to talk and figure things out from her. So sure, I'll make sure if she wakes up, she doesn't go anywhere. And he sort
Okay.
of brandishes the beast killer.
Yeah, maybe put it like bag over her head too, so she doesn't teleport or use any of that tricky magic stuff.
All right, sure.
Okay, and then we're gonna go back to that section of the town.
All right. So yeah, as I said before, you've got the floating jellyfish around, but they don't seem to be bothering anybody. And eventually, you go over to the sort of most of the buildings by now have been burnt down, at least the ones that weren't the fires weren't put out, but you do walk over there and you see a Fennekin holding this black colored stone in his paws and just looking at it.
Hello, Alan.
As he hears you, he sort of lowers the stone a little and looks to you guys and says, "Hey, did you guys manage?"
Yes, all of the townspeople have been evacuated.
Okay, that's good.
How are you faring?
Yeah, you know, about as well as one can when they've got an angry alien, whatever the heck, in their head constantly trying to fight back for control.
Has it given you any rest at all?
Nope, nada.
What does it want?
It wants basically just destruction. When when Fleffel caused it to merge with me, I fought back for control so much, and that thing sort of went mad before it managed to fully take my control from me.
It was not always like this.
I don't think it was, no. I think it always had a more destructive side, but I don't think it was as crazy and pyromaniac as it has been through my body.
What's that stone?
It's. I found it in another stone while I was just exploring around.
Renyl's
It,
going to show the other stone.
Oh,
yeah, his shines in the day, or his shines brightly when dusk falls, and mine shines brightly when dawn comes.
Alan and I knew each other long ago, and these stones were a symbol that we would remember each other even though we were separate.
so how much longer before it happens again?
Honestly, probably not much longer. The moment I give that thing in my head any rest, any moment of weakness, it's going to fight back and try and fully take control again.
And you'll know what we did here?
Probably. I don't know how much it knows of what I see, but probably everything.
Then why not just run away from him?
Yeah, run away from the alien in your head. Sounds like a great idea.
I mean, Flufful.
Well, Burst, or. Well, that's not what he was initially called, but. That's what our fused name is, apparently. It wants to work with Fluffwell.
Well, now that you're in control right now, tell us what we need to know to find him and to beat him.
I could try, but. Gonna warn you, it's. Not exactly easy. Fluffwell and all of us, we spent our time in a sort of void between the world these Ultra Beasts come from and this world. Imagine it like a mystery dungeon that's even more of a mystery dungeon than what we're used to. That's where we've been situated. In there, it's. The rules of this world aren't exactly. The rules are entirely different, and Ultra Beasts are at their strongest there. If you're gonna want to take on Fluffle in that world, it's gonna be a lot more difficult, assuming you can even go there, because we normally use, or they normally use portals to go there. You would probably have to either hitch a ride on a portal or try and find some way through a mystery dungeon that might be connected. Fluffle is weaker in this world by just a bit, so if you could draw him into this world somehow and keep him there, that would be your best shot at beating him.
You have any weaknesses or things we should look out for?
We all do have a weakness. Yeah.
What's his?
He. He. You see Alan clutch his head for a second before he says, sorry. Fleffel is sort of weak to. See, the being that composes of black necrozma is what it's called. It used to be a dragon of light, but it lost its power at some point in time after coming here. And because of that, he's actually weak to the very light that he used to hold, at least so long as he doesn't have the prism crystal.
There was one more thing I wanted to address. Does Fleffel have the Aether Stone? When we tried to find it, the pirates, it wasn't there.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The No, I don't think he has the Aether Stone. If he did, we'd know of it because we spent so long trying to find, or at least they spent so long trying to find them.
You
If he
mean,
found it, he might have done something with it already.
when you say they, you mean both Black and Fleffel?
No, Necrozma.
Uh,
So no, think I don't think Fleffel has either the Aether Stone or the Prism Crystal. Though he's looking for the Prism Crystal right now because he wants to regain his full power.
well, we're gonna go try to find the Aether Stone. We heard it's buried or underneath the sea somewhere, and that's where we intend to go next. Hopefully we can get it before him.
Under the sea. How do you guys plan on going there?
We don't know, but if he's after the Prism Crystal, then he's distracted. You have to try and fight your hardest and not tell him that.
I'm trying. I'm gonna try my best at the very least. Speaking of which, you guys need those to do what both those to do what you need to do, right?
Apparently.
Okay. He tosses you his stone, and he says, "You'll need this."
Who's he toss it to?
Uh, Probably Reniel.
Okay.
Grinyel catches it with one of his tentacles and just kind of looks at it. And then he looks at Alan and says,
What will we need it for?
There's a legend According to legend, the Prism Stone, in its original form, was given to Fleffel by two Pokémon combining their powers. The White Beast of Dusk and the Black Beast of Dawn. And here we have two crystals. A white crystal that shines at dusk, and a black crystal that shines at dawn. I think if you could figure out a way of putting these two crystals together, I think they might be able to create a new prism crystal.
Duly noted.
Don't know how you can put them together exactly. Maybe something as simple as mending, maybe it's a specific process, but you'll need them both.
Thank you, Alan.
You're welcome. You guys, be careful.
And you as well. Do not let Burst bully you around.
I'm gonna try my hardest. I'll fight for as long as I can, but be prepared to fight me again. You might not be able to break me out of burst control as easily this time.
I would imagine not.
What if you were to just go outside of a dungeon and stay there until it was forced out?
I don't know if it would be forced out, is the problem. None of
It
us
would
have.
it would likely have adverse effects on Alan himself as well.
There's that too. None of us have been. After 8 hours outside of a dungeon, we start feeling weaker. And I don't know what happens beyond that. There's a possibility Burst might instinctively leave me and then return back to the ultra space. But even if that happens, there's a possibility the process might do some form of damage to me or another. Assuming it even works in the first place, it might just kill both of us. I don't know for sure.
Well, it was worth bringing up, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a thought, but at least unless I know for sure it'd work, I don't want to try it.
Do you know why the Nihiligo hero stops being aggressive?
He sort of takes a look around and he says, couldn't really fully say. Might be because Lightning is no longer ordering them, or they might also be slightly nostalgic for home. This mystery dungeon, or at least sort of mystery dungeon, is basically what Fleffel wants to do to the entire continent. What you see here is what you can expect if he gets his way. And maybe that's affecting the Neolago in a way.
If you didn't have to hurt so many people to do it, sometimes I almost think I'd be on his side.
They're all desperate in their own ways. I do feel for them in a little. I do wish they'd be able to find their way home. But, well, he sort of waves a pot to himself. I can't exactly say this way is the best. I hope you guys manage to get him there somehow.
Stay strong, Alan.
I'll try my hardest. And stay alive, all you guys.
Count on it.
Alright, is there anything else you want to do or say to him?
Not really.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
that's really all I got.
Okay. Then yeah, you see Alan sort of just look off into the distance. He seems a little sorrowful, especially when he looks at some of the destroyed buildings, but otherwise you could tell he's mostly just struggling to maintain his focus and not end up trying to turn back.
All right.
But yeah.
Probably had.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say we should probably go back to lightning.
Okay.
It just seemed time was of the essence with this particular thing.
Okay. So yep, you walk back over to the inn, and yeah, you see lightning still there. At least you see the red cord for her dress because she currently has a bag over her head, and you see Cyrus is still standing there, sort of looking over her.
Okay. So how do we want to do this? She is not going to be cooperative at all.
I can
Well,
still
Go on.
I could maybe try using message to communicate with Elizabeth directly.
Yeah, that might work. She's okay. What if she also like accepts death if we threaten violence on her? What do we do to squeeze information out of her?
We pull her out of the dungeon.
Yeah. Okay. Any other roadblocks you can think of before we attempt this?
Ideally, we should get her somewhere where she won't have access to a swarm of Nihiligo to interrupt us.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna ask Cyrus. Do you have a cellar or a basement we can go into?
We might not need to do that. She's stable outside of the dungeon for a few hours at least. The Nihiligo won't last any significant amount of time out there.
Yeah, that's true. So you're saying we should just leave with her right now?
I think it's the best option we have.
What if she starts, like, dying?
It shouldn't happen immediately.
Okay, we can try, but
Another possibility might be to go into the portal and talk to her in there, and then, if need be, we can have. Well, we could close it on this end,
what I
cut her
worry
off from them.
what I worry about is, and I apologize for doing that to your friend Reniel, but I have no doubt that that thing inside of him is going to take over again and tell Fleffel everything he saw.
Oh no, I agree completely. What you did was a very clever thing to do, actually.
And I mean, if he sees us, if if Elizabeth, her lightning, sees us take it past Lucian, then if she gets away, then I worry what might happen.
Point. Alright, to a cellar it is then, I guess.
Yeah, I've got the cellar I use like my forge and stuff, so assuming those weird jellyfish things don't go after us, it should be intact. It was when this dungeon suddenly came in the first place.
All right. It should be. Um, is there like a place where there's not many of the Nihiligo floating around?
Uh, they seem to be sort of just floating randomly, so you could probably find a place where there aren't too many. It's like they're not like swarming. There's only like about a dozen of them in the town.
All right. I'm so I want somewhere dark too, like a dark cellar, which is probably a lot of them, um, but yeah, we'll go down to a dark cellar and maybe bind her against a chair or something, being very careful not to touch her, or find some rubber gloves or something.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. Oh shoot, Sergey's not here. Do any of you have an oranberry?
I should.
Yeah, we're
Cyrus
right on.
passes you one.
Okay, if she gets unruly, Reniel, just shoot one of those missiles at her.
He nods.
Yeah. Maybe from like the dark too, so she doesn't, stop you somehow.
Reniel walks into a shadowed area of the room and just kind of cat loafs there, and his eyes are probably reflecting back the light. So you just see this two eyes glaring back out.
Oh my
Big
gosh.
ol' Espion eyes.
Okay. Uh, we administer the berry.
Okay. You administer the berry. Do you still have the bag over her head?
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you administering the berry with the
Well,
bag?
well, we like we take it off a little, just slip it in their mouth, and
Okay. All right. So you administer the berry with the bag over her head in this dark cellar. You see her stir for a moment. She sort of gets her bearings and says, "Oh, great. Well, this is unfortunate. Let me guess, you're here to interrogate me, get information, stuff like that? Don't waste your breath or magic. My mind can't be read. You're not going to
Yeah.
get any magic off on me, and I'm not going to be telling you anything."
Yeah, we figured as much. We just want to talk, that's all.
I am going to cast Message, kind of similar to what I did earlier, where I targeted specifically Alan with Bardic Inspiration. I am going to attempt to target Elizabeth herself with Message. I'm going to ask, "Are you in there?"
You do that. You. It takes a moment, but you eventually hear a voice saying, "Please help." And Lightning herself says, "Oh, really? You want to talk, huh? I'm not feeling in the most talkative mood right now, considering I'm tied up and with a bag over my head."
My plan here is to continue this kind of redundant interrogation so Harold can do his thing. Like, all we want to know is why you brought the Nihiligo here. That's all we want to know.
Cute.
Are you going to tell us?
What? Wasn't it already obvious? I suppose you guys aren't good at reading between the lines, are you?
No, I just wondered why you had dominion over them, it seemed.
Because I'm one of the leaders, obviously.
So, well, like, yeah, that I'm just kind of like, I know I'm not going to get any answers from her. I'm just kind of meandering through this redundancy so Harold can do
Okay.
Right.
that. So, like,
Um,
basically as a distraction is what I'm trying to get at.
all right. We're going to cast another Message. What can I do to help?
You hear. Don't know. Can't do anything. So dark.
How aware are you of what's going on around, well, around Lightning?
You hear. Not aware. I don't know.
Okay. Um, this point, I think we're going to, Eugene's the plant here, but so yeah, we're going to message Eugene this time. She's in there, but she has no idea what's going on. It has complete control over her.
Ask her how it happened, or who she is, or why she how her death was faked and maybe ask her stuff about her past. And I continue asking Lightning, like, what is Fleftwell planning? You know, all the just generic stuff like that.
Alright.
All right. Message back to Elizabeth. Let's start from the beginning. How'd you get into this situation?
Leffel. I worked with him. I was doing a theory on worlds beyond our own and the origins of mystery dungeons. Fluffle was curious about my work and we worked together on it. I don't. We were doing an experiment, but I don't remember the result. It was in the middle or after that experiment when everything went dark.
What's the last thing you do remember?
I remember. I remember this strange creature. Didn't look normal. Black plugs, white head, no eyes, mouth, anything. It came out of portal.
What was the goal of the research you were working on?
Scientific study, learning, and that sort of stuff.
Yes, more specifically, what were you trying to figure out?
I wanted to learn a bit more about the nature of mystery dungeons. The more we learn about them, the more we can understand what they are, how they spread.
What did Fluffwell tell you?
He was interested in my work. I heard that I heard that he also had an incident where he and a group of researchers created a mystery dungeon. But the experiment failed, and he thought helping me with my research might help him succeed if he ever does a similar experiment another time.
Did he look like a normal Ampharos when you were working with him?
No. He was wearing armor. It seemed heavy and sort of odd, but he was wearing armor.
Do you have any idea if he had any particular plans if your experiments were to be successful?
We were planning on writing a joint paper about our findings and handing it to Gwaybold University. Beyond that, he didn't tell me if he had any specific things he planned to do. I thought he was just curious for the same reason I was.
Thank you. I don't know how much time I have, how much information I can give you. We're trying to help you. Don't give up.
Okay.
I suppose you deserve to know. The creature you described as your last memory has taken control of your body. Doing everything we can, but we don't know of any way to separate the two of you.
Okay. If it's a danger, then do what you need to do regardless of what the consequences to me might be. If it's something dangerous, then you need to be ready to do what needs to be done.
Arnold silently clenches a fist and messages Eugene. I think I've got everything I can from her.
What if, does she have any research or anything from her past life hidden away somewhere that we can maybe use?
Back to Elizabeth. Do you have any records somewhere of the progress you made that we might be able to find somewhere?
Fluffle and I kept a research journal together. It was in my house.
No, I think we already got that.
It's been moved.
Or wait, we got the forged one. Or I'm not here right now. I'm asking like what I'm asking
Well, yeah.
what do you guys eat?
What do you guys
No, I mean, that is actually what I would mention to Eugene. It was left in her house, but we found a fake, so who knows where it is by now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's all I really got. So maybe we should at least attempt to crack this one seriously. 'Cause I'm running out of BS to question her about. Technically, it'd be TS.
Is Cyrus? Cyrus, I assume, is in the room with us right now. Correct.
He is, yes. He's probably just standing there letting you guys take care of it. He's got the sword at the ready just in case something happens, but
Harold's looking at him Like he wants to say something, but he can't bring himself to do it.
Do I got something on my shell? He sort of just shrugs as you do, as you don't
Yeah, and
respond.
Harold is looking really uncomfortable, and
Would it have been the same sort of look that he would have given while Renuel was executing the Intellian?
Yeah,
hard to say,
Hard to say.
but
Okay.
probably reminiscent of it.
okay, Lightning, I'm gonna stop this.
Oh, good.
What do
I
you
was
what do
starting
you
to get
what do
bored.
you want?
Well, right now, I want to not be here, but clearly that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Well, what's that worth to you?
Uh, Not too terribly much. After all, you and I both are aware this questioning is pointless. You can't kill me because if you kill me, poor old... What was her name? Whatever the Gardevoir I possessed. You kill me, she dies too. You can't keep... You can't exactly be taking me with me. Or taking
This
me with you.
chaos, all this
So...
destruction, to what end?
Oh,
Just because you can?
somewhat that. Also, I can't deny, you Pokemon have me quite curious.
None of
Hmm.
this had to be this way.
Why? What intrigues you about us?
Well, I mean, you don't exactly exist where we're from, so since you guys aren't going to be around anymore, or at least the ones that don't get merged, I may as well do what I can to learn more about you while you're still existing.
And why make us go extinct then? You'd have all the time in the world if
Eh,
you didn't do that.
consequences of getting ourselves a new home, unfortunately.
Is that
By
what you
all
like to do?
accounts, we could exist in a place like this.
Are
Could
you
have.
sure about that? From what I've heard, a lot of you Pokemon avoid mystery dungeons like the plague. It causes you to go all, what was it? Feral? Sometimes it nearly kills you. Just like, oh, what was it? That Quilava. Well, he's Blaster now, but that Quilava was nearly dead in a mystery dungeon before we found him and we gave him that Ultra Beast. And you're telling me you can coexist in these worlds? Maybe for a short amount of time, sure, but we know you guys can't exist in these sorts of areas for long.
I'm still like stone faced while she says this too.
Yeah, and
Well,
you could tell she was specifically saying that to get a rise out of you.
what I've heard is you don't exist very long outside of these places. And the host you're inhabiting right now was very keen on experiments, and perhaps we should run an experiment right now and see what happens if we take you outside and leave you there for a long period of time. You say we're soft, and maybe over the course of this Well, over the last few months, maybe I've become a little less softer and maybe curious and maybe to take some risks. Are you willing to be that first risk for me?
My. You're willing to kill a poor innocent girl just to get back at me. How heartless of you.
Oh, no, 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 not just to get back at you, to see if there's people far better deserving amongst your kind. I mean, if you die, you die. And if you don't, well, maybe that's a way to save everyone. Like I said, an experiment. Nothing more.
Ah, shoot. Okay, thanks, Quill. She looks to you and she says,
Bag over her head.
all right. She can't
Well,
look
the
to you.
bag turns the direction of my voice.
Yeah. The bag turns the direction of your voice and she says, are you really sure about that? Is that really an
We're not
experiment
sure of
you want to do?
anything.
Why not? You're not going to talk, and, well, I don't think these townspeople want to see you live.
Hmm. Interesting.
And we certainly aren't going to let you go.
All right then. I'll call your bluff.
All right. I turn to my team, purely intent to do this.
She also can't see you as well.
Yeah.
I agree with this decision.
Yeah. You don't mind, Cyrus, right?
I don't really get it, but sure.
Let's just say it's the reason I need that as I point to the sword.
You need that to get her out?
Oh, no, I need it for later. I need
Oh,
it to deal with what's doing this. But let's take her out. We're going to take her out bag on head.
okay.
Actually, knock her out first.
Rainiel shoots a firebolt into her back.
Just get her unconscious.
Okay. Raniel, make an attack roll.
Advantage, because she can't see.
Okay.
Right? I don't want to call that she can't see, right?
You assume she can't see.
Oh, okay. Then it'd probably irregular then.
All right. Well, that's a 13.
Okay. Yep. That misses her. And as it does, you guys see a blinding amount of electricity. Roll initiative.
Oh.
And pray she doesn't roll high.
Okay, so I leveled up, so my initiative is now +8. So
Alright.
let's hope.
You're looking to beat an 18.
It's 11.
9 and 4.
Man, I had something so cool to do if I won this too.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh. All right, let me just throw you guys. You know, I should have really suspected you guys would end up in combat.
Like it's like it's.
All right,
Crow
let me
Do you
called it.
let me just
do
set
you
up something real quick. We'll not do anything fancy here.
all we probably need is a square little room, really.
Yeah, that's
just-
what I planned. Okay.
You still have a counter spell.
Yes.
I
Because we leveled up, I now have an extra 4th level spell slot, so I can counterspell. Oh wait, no. This is Renial, not Sabrina. I cannot counterspell. Sorry.
Ouch.
I do have a spell slot, but I can't do anything fancy with it.
All right. Join in the map and
Can we maybe position this a little better? Like I probably would have been pretty close to where
yeah,
Renial would have been.
position yourselves how you want to be.
Okay.
Okay. In that case, Renial's was I imagined Renial being like back in the corner over here,
Hmm.
because that's where it'd probably be dark.
I was probably near the front somewhere with Harold. I was probably like there, I guess, near the seat.
Old EV for Radial, okay.
I don't have an Espeon sprite.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry audience, I don't have Owlbear prepared for you guys, so we'll just imagine a blank random, just imagine a blank sort of stone square, and you've got basically the battle map. Let me mark out your, the exit is, oh, that's a very terrible color. The exit is right here. Alright, so after that flash of light, you see Lightning's form has shifted. She looks more like she's made of almost pure electricity, and it caused the chains and bag to fall to the wayside. And it is her turn first, so she is going to you see her zip through you, through you, through you, and then she is just before the exit. In this electrical form, you all will take 7 lightning damage as she just sort of blows through you all in this electrical form. And that'll be her turn. Eugene, it's your turn.
All right, so I'm going to Zephyr Strike, and I'm gonna move. Can move. Oh, I actually got I got so much movement now. This is the first turn, so I get the Gloomstalker thing. All right, I'm just gonna move up to here, and then I'm gonna shoot her with advantage.
Okay.
Two D20. Let's just do that. That's 25.
All right.
There's no magical arrow. I know.
Oh, he's huh?
+1. It's with a +1 arrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You hit and she falls to the ground right away. You're out of initiative.
Okay. Okay. Ouch. So she can do that, I guess.
Oh, also as she is down, her form sort of shifts back into her normal form as well, by the way.
Okay.
Hopefully that took enough out of her that she can't do it again anytime soon.
And I say we continue with it.
Agreed.
Yeah. We're going to leave the dungeon then. With her in tow.
Okay. You leave the dungeon with her in tow.
Yeah.
So,
And so how do we want to restrain her?
all right, yeah. Are you gonna restrain her with those chains, or what are you gonna do?
Oh, they weren't destroyed?
No, they weren't destroyed. They basically, like, imagine her body was sort of ghostly, only more electrically ghostly.
I see.
Yeah.
She
So
just
they,
passed through them.
yeah.
That'll work as well as anything, I think.
Yeah. Just we'll maybe ready in action to subdue her again if she tries that again. Yeah, we're gonna bring her outside.
Okay. All right. So you leave the dungeon. As you enter the wormhole.
Rainiel's actually going to stay inside the mystery dungeon.
Oh. Okay, sure.
Actually,
He'll catch up with you guys later.
I might have something to do in here real quick, too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll I guess I'll just have Cyrus go with me.
What I'm doing shouldn't take very long, at least not from the outside.
Okay, I'll wait in that case. Just try to hurry up. I don't want, Fleffel showing up or something. We basically ruined his plans here.
Yeah, we did, hopefully. Okay. It is time to talk with Koritha again.
Okay. So, yeah. As usual, you're taken to her sort of swirling magical psionic world, and you see the Espion appear in front of you.
Well, I think we might have found the Weirden tree.
Assuming that map is accurate. Perhaps you have.
Are we still only able to communicate inside dungeons, or do you think you're strong enough that I could talk to you elsewhere?
I think I might be able to talk in short bursts outside of dungeons. It's hard to know for sure without trying, but as you've grown stronger and as I've gotten more memories, I've been getting a bit more strength myself, so I do believe it's possible that we will be able to talk outside of dungeons.
Do you have any possible suggestions on how we might be able to merge those two rocks that Reniel has and possibly make a prism crystal? I have one suggestion. that I could try with my mending spell, but that seems too simple.
One rule of science is often the more simple ideas are the ones overlooked because they appear to be too simple.
Welcome's Razor.
Thank you, Eugene's voice.
Shut up, Eugene. You're not here. You're getting drunk.
Perhaps it is just that simple. Though the question also is whether you want to do it now or later. After all, if Leffel wants to get that item and he figures out you have it, that might lead you into some amount of danger.
That thought did occur to me.
But at the same time, you also won't know until you try, so it's up to you to decide. Weigh the risk and reward. Beyond that, it's possibly... I do wonder. I have a few thoughts. I'm not positive on any of them, but you know how you meld and shape stone? It might be as simple as just smelting the two rocks together and seeing if that also works, like in a forge or something.
Keep things like that in mind. Need to find the right time to test it, but any ideas help.
Indeed. I'll also think of more possibilities over time. Get back to you if I happen to come with any breakthroughs. Sadly, I can't
Right.
experiment on it myself, but, well, that's the scientific process. Hypothesize, experiment, see the results.
Right. Just wanted to touch base with you on some of our major progress.
You guys are doing fairly well, all things considering.
Doesn't feel like it sometimes, but I suppose we are.
Even small amounts of progress is still progress.
Just need a way to stop everybody from killing each other. But I suppose that's something we'll have to deal with on our end.
Yeah. At the very least, I'd say this crisis more than likely brought this small town together.
Hmm.
So, it should be possible on a larger scale, too. You just gotta keep going at it, keep learning, and keep fighting.
Over the coming days, if we can, I'd like to try to talk to you and try to understand some of the origins of these hostilities. Maybe if we can find some way to address the root of the problem, we can stop all of this. But I think that's kind of a big order to try to take care of right here and now.
Yeah, you've got other things you wish to focus on, but as I was part of the war in the past, I do know a bit of what led to the hostilities between the two nations, so I could certainly offer some advice or information, whatever I could do to help. But that'll be something for later. I imagine you've got other things to focus on as of right now.
Indeed. All right. Well, let's hopefully stay in touch. Thanks for your help, by the way.
No problem. Tell my descendant that I am quite happy that he managed to fully evolve and he's slowly finding his way in life.
I will.
All right.
Anyway, hopefully talk to you soon.
Yep. See you later. And she gives a polite smile and a bit of a wave.
All right. Back in the closest thing to reality that you get inside a mystery dungeon. All right, that's all I needed to take care of. Let's get going.
Renniel's doing something too, but we should be able to do this without him. Is that okay, Reniel?
Yes, that is fine.
All right. And we're gonna take. Do we have another orange berry? I used all my orange berries on the townsfolk last time.
I still have several.
All right. All right. Yeah, we're gonna take her outside then, and bring her back too.
Okay. So,
Actually, do we want to bring her back immediately?
No.
Is there anything else we want to do?
Let her weaken.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Well, we'll see what happens at first, and then
Yeah.
all right. So, are you going out now?
Yeah, we were going to go out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you pass on through the portal, you see Blaster sort of come out from hiding behind, and he says, "I I think you guys got most of the town up. Oh, where's the Espeon?"
He wanted to take care of one more thing before he left.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm keeping the portal. And then he notices you're carrying lightning, and he says, "What are you doing?"
We wanted to know what happens when we take them outside.
Are are you sure about that? You know you could kill her, right?
She has told me she's fine with that if that's what it comes to.
And lightning isn't giving us any answers.
Lightning's always been a bit more prideful than she's worth, but are you? You could tell that he really doesn't want you to do that, but at the same time, he can't really fight an argument against you doing that.
Then what would you have us do? If she goes back, she's going to tell us everything. She's going to tell Fleffel everything. And we've learned that we don't know what will happen if this is done. And I'm not gonna lie, we don't have anything. We have almost no leads to anything.
I didn't think. All right, but
What if
just
what if there's a
realize
way to resolve this whole conflict without anybody else having to get hurt?
we just we just want to go home. That's all we want.
And that's what we want too.
But she doesn't seem to want to, and every time we encounter these, you guys, it's always met with hostility except for you. She was going to experiment on the people of this town. I don't like having to do this, but what would you have us do? We saved everyone by the skin of their teeth. I couldn't stand it if they actually got away with someone.
I I don't know what you should do. Like, I get that you can't exactly do anything, but sorry.
Look, we tried reasoning with lightning and it didn't work. We just came up with nothing.
Just be ready for the consequences. I don't know. None of us know what will happen to her. Don't don't forget we're more than just. Even if you hate us beasts, don't forget we're more than just that. We're
We
also the
don't
people underside as well.
we don't hate you. Like I said, we want to help you too. We want you to go home, but you're also individuals. And because of that, there can be certain individuals who don't want to be helped.
Like he said, I think there's some amongst us who aren't perfect at all, and maybe Renniel's right. Maybe they do deserve what the worst case scenario is going to happen to Lightning.
Okay. Just be careful with what you're gonna do with her. She's tricky.
We've already seen that firsthand.
Yeah, we barely managed to stop her.
He looks away for a moment. He says, "Alright, I'll keep the portal open until the Espeon gets through, and then I'll shut it."
Question: We could. I guess I can ask this in character. Can't we just take her back in if she starts suffering?
I mean, you could, yeah.
Well, this might be enough to loosen her lips, if anything.
I guess so. It isn't exactly the nicest way of going about things, but go go ahead. I'll keep the portal open for as long as you guys need it.
Just look, I'm not trying to kill her, okay?
Okay.
I think this is penance, if anything, for what you had planned for innocent civilians.
He sort of sighs before he goes back and walks through a wormhole.
We're gonna take her through.
Okay. As you exit the portal, you see that a sort of makeshift camp is being prepared outside of the dungeon. While the dungeon itself seemed to remain an eternal morning, you notice that it is getting close to evening by now. It's about late afternoon, early evening, like around 3-ish.
So like, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought that the camp everyone was in was inside the mystery dungeon. I don't know why I thought this. I think my brain's just sore or something. I never woke up this morning. Maybe I'm just asleep right now. I don't know. But so Renyul's still with the group.
Okay.
Just look behind us and Reynolds there.
I had some fires to put out.
Okay. Did you hear that whole?
Enough of it.
Yeah. So, if she seems to be dying, prepare just to pull her back in.
He nods.
Yeah. All right. What's happening to her?
Right now she's just knocked out. You'll remember that Alan suggested they last usually around 8 hours outside being just fine. It's after that when things start happening.
Oh, we gotta literally keep her here for like 8 hours.
Yes.
I forgot
That's
about
why
that.
I was saying don't wake her up immediately.
Ah, all right. Okay, so this is awkward.
It's okay. I was awkward too.
Yeah.
This is an awkward day apparently. I guess without ice everyone's just awkward.
All right. Well, we've just got to keep her subdued for 8 hours and see what happens.
There is one thing I might be able to do if we can find some sort of enclosed space to put her in. I could try creating that hut in front of the entrance and trapping her inside.
That might work, and maybe we can stay inside of it. I think everyone's a little beat after what happened in there. So all we would need is like I don't know if she had the ability to go through cracks or anything, but we need to find something like that, maybe.
So what are you looking for? Right now basically you're just in right now you're basically just in sort of like you see the sort of shimmering barrier around the town that signifies it's a mystery dungeon, and otherwise it's mostly plains for miles.
Are there any buildings outside of the distortion field?
There does not appear to be, no.
Crap.
Time to dig a hole.
Maybe we get Sergey to help us do that.
If you guys are like digging yourself a small enclosed tunnel, I'll say that yeah, Sergey will come around and help with that.
I mean, he is a ground type now, right?
Yeah.
He should be better at that stuff.
Oh my gosh, this is an amusing situation.
So it's just grasslands around. Like there isn't
I mean,
there aren't any like hills or mountains where there could potentially be a cave or a tunnel or anything like that.
there It's probably a hill or two, but they don't look like there's large enough. They're large enough, and there is there are like a few trees, but you're not really close enough to get like a massive forest or anything like that. Oh wait,
Are there?
there is if you guys want to go that far away from town, there is the nearby mountain range, but that's going to be a bit of a walk.
Are there large boulders?
Roll perception.
I think it's +9. I don't want to go look. I know it's +9, but I gotta make sure.
I don't want you to
Yeah,
look at my character sheet when making a skill check, okay?
well, I like to memorize it. I got an 11 because it was a natural too.
uh, you don't see any large boulders anywhere nearby, but you're maybe
Wait.
distracted or disoriented right now.
We have a whole bunch of townspeople here.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask some of them if they. I'm going to ask how many of them if they know of anywhere where we could take shelter, because that seems like a reasonable thing to ask at the moment when everybody is just kicked out of their home. If there's any cave systems or like even just
So,
little
like,
codes or something where people could take shelter in.
this wouldn't be the most secure solution, but I do have the sand rod that I can make a sandbox out of.
I mean, it wouldn't. That works against lightning, I guess.
Well, I mean, if lightning tries to pass through it, she's going to, just fuse herself to the glass.
Yeah. Let's make a sandbox.
Hooray! Okay.
We'll call this Rennial Sandcastle. It's in the new homebrew Lanwell.
Oh my!
Rennial Sandy Castle spell is a third level spell, whatever. Okay, so he's going to use 3 charges of the sand rod to make here, I'll just use Owlbear Rodeo that we're all in to make a grab this and this. He's going to make 3 5x5 sand cubes like this. And I guess he's going to take 2 sand cubes, the other 2, and put one on top of the other like that. And then we can dig out a little hole to shove her into, and then make the tiny hut to block her into it.
Or maybe dig out some rooms for it. I don't know how stable it is, but
It appears to be actually fairly stable.
oh
The
yeah, then
blocks
just
are meant to have staying power, so
make it like a little house then.
Yeah.
oh gosh. Renio's about to
We
create
playing Minecraft, boys!
Yeah.
Renio's about to create a Minecraft house out of sand. What the heck is this?
This is so dumb.
It's
When-
D&D.
So dumb that it works.
When you have creative problems, you need creative solutions, apparently. Alright, so Radio takes out his sand rod and he begins creating these perfectly square blocks of sand, and he creates a small sand house.
All right.
Alright.
And then I guess we're gonna put the hut on the outside of it. That was the plan?
Yeah,
Yes,
block her into it.
exactly.
And we just sit there watching her for 8 hours, I guess.
It's
Well, Harold has to. You and I can leave.
Yeah.
10-foot radius.
Do you happen to have any tiny hut tokens?
Hang on, I got this.
I have a transparent.
There.
Oh.
Mm,
What is this?
Creative solutions.
We could keep it near the portal of the mystery dungeon too, so it's not
Yeah.
a long haul to drag her back.
There.
The townsfolk are probably like, "What are they doing?"
You have like everyone in town just giving you all absolute WTF looks.
They're building like the sand fortress. Now they're putting like this strange dome at the front of it. They're shoving a Gardevoir in there.
We think it's a Gardevoir anyway. Okay. So now we wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Renyel can go do whatever he wanted to do, but I
Yeah.
plan on staying and watching her.
All right. Yeah, you've basically due to how this works. So first things first, you do have the fact that KOing someone only lasts a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And second, you've got 8 hours, so if you could shift this somehow, you could technically take a long rest, but you're gonna have to have someone constantly there and able to knock her out if she wakes up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot knock her out because I can't leave the area or the
Yeah.
force field goes down.
We have a T posing character, so we'll just have him do it.
You need Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, with Cyrus, yeah, if Cyrus is inside the hut when I
I
conjure
meant
it.
Sergi.
Oh
Well,
yeah, and
both
Sergey.
of them.
Yeah. And
Cyrus
or
doesn't have to stay in there the whole time. He just has to be inside when it comes up.
yeah, so he has to like come back every hour at least.
No, we can have him take the first shift.
Yeah.
And then he can leave and do whatever he wants.
I guess we can ask him if there's like any able-bodied soldiers, not soldiers, able-bodied people in Donsbury that could help us do this. I mean, we saved your town and all. It'd be the least you can do.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but I guess I can ask around for you, but
It's really just to get to the bottom of this so this doesn't happen again.
Actually, those other three members of the Freelance Guild might be good candidates for this.
Right. What happened to Aurora, too?
she left
Mm.
with Sergey.
Ah.
Yeah, I think between them and Aurora, we should be good.
Well, you're gonna have to find Aurora and tell her first, because she looks like she didn't really have any interest in sticking around.
Well, it's a good thing you're looking for her, because guess who Renyel's looking for?
Mhm.
Yeah.
As for
That's
the
nice.
others, you do see Maribel there, but yeah, you see Maribel and Pierce, but Andre has left to go to the nearby town and
Get help.
yeah, to inform of what happened and to inform them of what happened and get help, get some reinforcement, try and figure out what to do and stuff like that. So you will have Pierce and Maribel there at least.
All right, I think that's plenty.
Yeah.
Okay. And as for Aurora, Reniel.
All right. So, Renyel's gonna go find Aurora.
Okay. You probably have to ask the various Pokemon in town.
All right,
But
where's the nearest one?
you ask, I'll just say one of the Maryland. She points you to one of the tents where the Glaceon decided to hold out.
Okay. He's gonna go over to that tent then.
Okay. Yeah. You go to her tent and you see Aurora sort of laying in her tent in solitary, and she seems to be licking her wounds and looking fairly upset.
All right. He sees that she's upset and he hesitates for a moment, but eventually he's going to approach her tent and say,
Are you accepting visitors?
Aurora stops her licking, looks a little bit embarrassed to be caught like that, but eventually she looks at you and takes her a bit to answer. But when she does, she says, "Probably not for too long. Do you need something?"
y- one of Nihiligo's hand tentacles pops out with a potion of greater healing and offers it to her, and he says,
This would probably be more conducive to healing.
She looks at it before looking at you and says, "You should probably save your healing. You'll probably need it someday."
Are you certain? You took a fairly heavy hit.
"I'll be fine." She does not look like she'll be fine, but
all right, the tentacle will retract and pull the potion back into his head.
Are you certain you will be okay?
she she looks down and she says, "Yes, so long as nothing else explodes in our face before we reach the guild, I'll be fine."
It is more than your body that is hurt. You're upset.
She looks away from you, not saying anything, but she's not denying it.
I would ask you if you want to talk about it, but I know just enough about you at this point that I know you won't want to. That being said, I think you should. I may not be the most comforting individual, but if nothing else, I'm a good listener.
It takes her a couple of moments, but she says, "I got taken out right away and barely did anything to help. There, happy?"
You can't honestly think that is your fault, can you? You were up against a threat you knew nothing about and had no time to prepare for on top of that. I have been living with one of them in me for 8 years, and I can tell you with no uncertainty that I was not prepared to fight Fluffwall. Were it not for Eugene, I would be dead.
"A member of the Freelance Guild. If we're not able to handle these things, then we're basically dead."
So am I, but I have been knocked unconscious on several occasions. That's why we work in teams. You aren't an isolated unit, Aurora. You have backup. If I could feel, I would have felt pretty worthless when Fluffwell counter-spelled my fireball, or simply dispelled my hunger of Hadar, then flew over and threatened to kill me, only for me to try to flee and get knocked out by one of his minions. Things don't always go right in combat. Sometimes things just go wrong. Other times, they go better than you could have ever imagined. Sergei often finds himself struggling to hit targets due to his missing eye, but you saw what he did to Lightning. Next time, maybe you'll be the one dealing devastating blows to your adversaries.
She sort of scoffs and says, "Easy to say, hard to believe. If you're so cold and emotionless like you say you are, why do you care anyways? Like, why even tell Lightning that you care when you did?"
I was an Eevee when I fought Fluffwell. Now that I'm an Espeon, my psychological faculties have expanded to the point where, if I pay close enough attention, I can know what I should be feeling. I did not answer her right away because I had to think about it. I did not see any logic behind it at first. I thought it was because there was a slight similarity between us and that both of us suffered some form of neglect from our parents. I never had the chance to make friends, and you were disinherited for something trivial. Granted, in my case, it was inadvertent while yours was deliberate. That didn't seem like a satisfactory explanation to me, though. Upon deeper introspection, I realized I enjoyed the time I spent with you before we set out to fight Leviathan's Claw. Until recently, I considered myself unlikable, so I intended to simply see if it was possible for you to find anything worthwhile about me. However, it would seem the opposite has happened. By hearing about all the things you consider important, I became interested in you. That was when I gave her my answer.
Enjoyment is an emotion, you know. Though as she said that, it's clear she's being a bit more thoughtful, and that was just the first thing that came to her mind.
Indeed, and it is not one I feel often, whether I am paying attention or not.
I thanks, I guess. Though by the looks of things, she was planning on turning me into target regardless of what you answered.
More than likely. I suppose in that case I should probably not have said anything on the off chance she would have held back.
Or maybe it was the decision between killing me or doing something worse. It's hard to tell with someone insane like that.
I could see it being either she wanted to kill you or experiment on you simply for the sadistic pleasure of causing anguish in me. That seemed to be her primary goal. Or she wanted to distract me from saving her other victims. That was my primary objective during the altercation. Had it not been for Harold being able to get you out of harm's way, at least for that moment that he did, the other Nihiligo would have likely gotten away. I was prepared to defend you with my own body.
She gives you the biggest wait, what expression, and she says that you're kidding, right?
No, there would have been much I th- there would not have been much I could have done, as I myself am rather frail, but perhaps it would have been enough time for the others to get us out of there.
She sort of looks away from you again and looks down and she says, thanks.
You are welcome.
He's gonna get up and he says,
I will leave you alone for now. Get some rest. We will likely head for Misty Gales in the morning.
Alright, you go get some rest too.
I will.
he starts heading back to the others, but then he stops and says,
Actually, we are currently holding one of the Ultra Beast fused individuals hostage, and we were looking for those who would be willing to assist in keeping an eye on her until she wakes up. I do not assume that you would be ready to do such a thing, given you are currently fairly injured. But
She looks to her wounds and sort of just says, no, right now I don't want anything to do with any of that.
understandable.
and he turns around and goes back to the others.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, by now you've got basically your group. You've got yourselves. Sergey may or may not be helping.
Yeah.
And you've got Pierce and Maribel. You all sort of set up this sort of enclosed encampment, and after an hour is when you first see her stir a little. Are you gonna
Yeah.
immediately knock her out, or
Yeah.
okay? You immediately knock her out.
Preferably like with a sling too, so no one gets hurt. Just like throwing rocks at her.
Well, you'd have to leave the tiny hut because nothing leaves it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I made the little rooms in the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you'll probably have to sleep in like very odd, awkward shifts.
Yeah.
But after long time passes, after those 8-ish hours, you, we'll say for narrative's sake, you see her sort of flinch in pain as she wakes up one more time.
Has kind of the 8 hours kind of transpired.
Yeah, this will be after the 8 hours. We'll just skip ahead. Right now, it's probably, let's see. Right now, it's probably just before midnight, I believe.
Oh god, this will be like with the hut. This is like a full-blown interrogation room now.
Who's good cop and bad cop?
Yeah. All right, so she's coming too.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then I say, "You're calling my bluff, huh?"
She looks around and she says, "Where am I? What's going on? Why does everything hurt?"
Um, Wait a minute. This isn't what I was expecting. Um, is okay, maybe the first thing I'm gonna think is this some sort of trick?
Are you looking to see if it's some sort of trick?
Yeah.
Okay, roll insight.
Does this sound like phoned in, or is this actually genuine? Insight. My insight's halfway decent, I think. Yeah, it's +6. But I've been rolling hot garbage this entire session, so yeah, that's 1 is fine, which turns into a 7.
Oh my gosh. This is. It's a good thing this is more of a chill RP session than a combat session.
Okay, so I'm gonna role play a failure, and I'm gonna actually think, "Oh my God, this is actually Elizabeth?" And I'm like, "Hey, are you all right?"
No, everything hurts. What's going on? Why does it all hurt?
I'm gonna give her a healing potion. Here, take this.
Okay.
Are you sure that is wise, Eugene?
It's something's wrong here. This is I think it might be her.
I still believe it would be better to exercise caution. Even if it is her, if we heal her and give her back enough strength, Lightning could just as soon take back control of her body.
Counter to what I said, I don't want to just let her die if she's free.
Reniel thinks for a bit, and he's going to try to telepathically forge a connection with Elizabeth specifically. Well, I guess he can't see her. He can only see Lightning, so that doesn't work. I can't pull a herald message.
Arguably, you can see her. I guess try and see what
Question mark?
happens.
Okay.
let me look at the wording of message and let me look at the wording of
Message explicitly states that you do not need to see the creature as long as you know it's there.
And Reniel does need to see the creature in order to forge a telepathic bond with it.
Okay, so you could try.
Wait a minute. Do you remember what you told my friend earlier?
She sort of looks around for a moment, blinks, and she says, "It's hard to remember, think right now with how painful it is. Where am I? What's going on?"
Okay, this is the minute I go back into sus mode. Is Harold still awake?
Yes, I would assume so.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're all awake for this, whether you were woken up or what have you. I'm gonna say you're all awake for this.
All right.
Well,
Maybe.
let's try a very simple question. What is your name?
Elizabeth.
Okay. Is it still in there?
I think so.
Let our cloud do what we do.
I'm gonna give her the healing potion.
Okay.
Is she still all electrical?
Yeah, she does. At least she looks the same, so you imagine she's probably still all electrical.
All right, I put it in front of her. Healing potion.
She
Drink this.
she takes it. She drinks it and she says, "Thanks, that helps a little."
Do you remember anything else?
Not really. What am I supposed to be remembering?
What? You talked to my friend a few hours, well, earlier today. Do you remember that?
No, I don't right now.
Reniel's going to use his wand to cast Detect Thoughts on her.
Okay. You know, I was surprised you didn't do that earlier. Okay. Uh, Contrary to what Lightning said before when she said you can't read her thoughts, so don't waste your magic, you can read her thoughts perfectly fine. And her surface level thoughts seem to be suggesting that she's waiting for you guys to she seems to be waiting for you guys to stop questioning things.
Reniel is going to relay that information to the others telepathically.
That makes me think it's still lightning.
I have to agree.
Do we call her out on it?
You may as well. I don't see any purpose in drawing this out longer than it needs to.
Elizabeth,
Yeah.
drop the act.
What act are you talking about? You hear in her mind a moment of surprise, but she still seems to be trying to keep it up.
We know it's not you. Well, should I say we know it's still you?
Buried her so deep there's barely anything of her left. Oh, I suppose I should give you some congratulations for going to the lengths of actually remembering her name this time.
She scoffs and she says, should have figured it wouldn't work. I mean, the in pain part wasn't exactly an act.
Well, here you are on the outside, and you seem to be fine.
Yeah, if that's what you want to call it. Reniel, you can tell that while she has dropped the act, you could tell that she still is experiencing she is actually in pain, but she's being tough about it.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, you like experiments, right? It's what you were planning to do with those civilians, so how does it feel to be an experiment right now?
Oh, in some ways, frustrating, and others, amusing.
Why is that?
Well, you guys are supposed to be the good, virtuous guys, aren't you? And
Oh,
here
don't
you
try to
are.
pull that.
And here you are, killing someone innocent just for your little sense of satisfaction. I must say, I'm impressed.
Don't try to play that with me. You said we were doing this to get back at you.
You don't even need to entertain this line of reasoning, Eugene.
Well, unfortunately for you guys, I'll be taking anything you want to hear with me to my inevitable grave. It'll be slow, it'll be painful, but you want to know what? I'll enjoy one small thing about it, knowing that at the very least, I'm not the only one experiencing this pain. Enjoy sleeping at night, knowing that the Pokemon inside of me you torture to death.
Reniel's going to pry deeper.
Alright, that's a whiz save?
Yep. No, I do not anticipate this will work.
I mean, the dice could be nice to you. The dice haven't been so far, but the dice could be nice to you.
Well, just to me.
That's a 10, but she hasn't burned any of her legendary resistances, so.
Yeah, guess what? He has a whole bunch more of these.
Oh
So he's
my,
going to do it again.
oh my god!
Wait. She didn't get a long rest, and I think she used 2 of them in the fight, right?
I only remember her using one, I want to say.
I only remember using one as well.
Okay.
But it's not a long rest, actually. For legendary resistances, it's an entire day, regardless of rests.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, we're doing that again.
Radial is freaking. Okay. Alright, just so that we don't waste time, how many of these do you have?
including the one, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up to 13.
Oh
Oh,
my
wait,
god.
that's not including my sorcery points.
Oh my gosh.
So 17.
All right. I am going to Oh boy. Okay, I am going to roll, but I do not anticipate you failing this. Even with her remaining legendary resistances, I would have to balls to the walls roll like really good. What's Radial's save?
16.
Okay, I would have to balls to the walls roll really good. In fact, I'll at least roll the d20s in the chat just so you all can see.
Yeah.
I won't tell you where the modifier is, but this should conclusively, even without her modifiers, show you whether or not she manages to somehow make enough saves to go through all that.
And the ones that fail oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of 19s and 18s.
Why can't
But
I
there's-
roll this good when I'm not playing the enemy?
the lowest are like a 1 and a 3.
Okay, 1, 5. So she would have failed 1, 2, 3 times. Yeah, she would have only failed 3 times, but luckily that's enough to get through her legendary resistances even then. Alright, let me look at the spell to see what probing deeper does exactly, because generally you never manage to get it done. Okay.
Look at all those 19s and 8s.
Yep, why
And
can't
I just ate them all.
why can't I roll like this when I want to? Okay. If this fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, something that looms large into its mind. Okay. Alright. So, you, right now, she is pulling on a tough front, intentionally. She's trying to make it so that you guys do not get any satisfaction from this whatsoever, and trying to, she is still trying for survival. She doesn't want to die, but at the same time, she is not letting you guys get through to her, and is trying to make this as uncomfortably painful for you as it is for her. She does also seem to be more afraid of what Fleffel will do to her than what this will do to her, and beyond that, she has no freaking clue what will happen after this. She assumes it will probably be Elizabeth will probably die. She thinks there's a likely chance she will as well, but at this point in time, she's pretty much just making this as hard on you guys as possible and letting this happen.
All right, and she now knows that Renul just succeeded in prying into her head.
And there's that too. Why can't
Which is what Renul wanted from the start.
I mean, she would have realized that on the first failed save.
Yeah, I was gonna say she'd probably realize that by like the 14th or 15th detect thoughts you did.
No, see, she would have known that he was trying to, but now she knows that he has.
So you like looking into people's personal thoughts, huh?
It is occasionally amusing. It is also interesting that you are terrified right now.
How about you all just screw off and let me die on my own?
If that is what you want, I will not complain.
I'm just wondering why you're so loyal to him.
She's afraid of what he will do to her.
And what could he do that's possibly worse than this? I'd like to let you know he's not invincible. He ran away from us.
Probably only ran from you because he had better things to do.
Or is he putting up a front like you have been doing? And he was actually scared of us.
Why would a god be scared of a few mortals like you?
Maybe because he is not a god.
You clearly know nothing. If you fight
Look,
against him, he's gonna destroy you, you know.
well, I have to disagree there. Look, I know. Well, we know exactly how you feel, and that's not. And I'm not blowing smoke or anything. He just went inside your head and told us. We literally know what you're thinking. And I ask you, why not take a chance on us? Like you really want to end it like this?
She clenches her teeth and says, "What do you think, wise guy? But what else do I have?"
Well, I've learned that sometimes people in power abuse that power. We have those here, you know. We have a Fleffel that I'm actively defying here in our world. And if you do nothing, nothing's going to change. And what if he does get his way? He's going to lead you the entire time. And you want to be led by that guy? A guy you actively fear?
We're trying to help you get home. That is what you want, isn't it?
You're not the problem to us. He is.
Yes, I want to get home above all. I'm well aware of that. But we've
Then
given up
work.
on that a long time ago.
Well, we haven't.
Besides, what am I supposed to do?
Work on the inside. I know we know you're afraid of him, and it'd be probably, it's stupid to ask you to just leave him. But just because you work with him doesn't mean you have to work with him.
And when he figures out that I'm attempting to deceive him, what then?
Well, it can't be better than what's happening right now.
And would it bring
Dying
you
in a
with...
sandcastle made by him.
And would it be any worse than spending the rest of your life living under his rule?
Oh, I won't deny. His role isn't exactly the best in the world, but we all may decide to make good on a bad situation.
Well, if this is your idea of making good, then
Well, not good, so to speak, but the best we can out of a situation in any case. At least that was
Let
the plan.
let me also put into perspective to you about Fleffel being a god. We thwarted a god's plan. What does that tell you?
He
and,
wasn't here to
and you don't
oversee.
have to take our word on that.
He wasn't here to oversee it.
And I'll tell you, that's not the only occasion we've done it on. He was a god. He could strike us down where we stand.
You're beneath him. That's why he doesn't. You
And
can't.
As
my
as
idea of a god is someone who's all caring and all loving, and he doesn't seem like either of those things. He is a tyrant.
What were you gonna say, Reniel?
Doesn't matter.
Okay then. She sits there thinking for a moment. She says, "If this kills me, it's your fault, you know."
No, we're bringing you back in the dungeon.
No, I mean, if going back to level kills me, that's your fault, you know.
Well, just say we thwarted his plans. It's what we did anyway.
Fair enough.
I mean, we could have just killed you on the spot anyway, but we didn't.
If it helps at the very least. This was supposed to start the war. It
You know.
didn't. Or at least as of right now, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. That's just another testament to, he might be betting on the wrong horses. We already knew that.
They're coming, by the way.
What do you mean?
Aaron and Caldwelch. Their leaders will be here tomorrow. Fluff will black tip them off that something was going to happen to this town, and they're going to come and assess the damage and potentially begin fighting.
Well, they're gonna see a very unpleasant sight. Well, Fleffel is anyway.
Fluffle won't be here.
I know, but the result, it's he utterly failed once again.
So we didn't.
In fact, we had people of Caldwell helping this town in Erin, and a lot of witnesses of Donsbury seeing that. So it might have the opposite effect. Ironica.
You creatures are really tenacious. Maybe we underestimated you a bit too much.
Well, when your back is against the wall, sometimes that's when you lash out the hardest. It's actually in the game I play. The players they get really resourceful and do a bunch of wacky stuff when you're just about to kill them. I mean, do you want to go back in the dungeon?
Yes. At the very least. I'll try not to help him. But I probably won't be helping you too much either.
I realize that. No resistance when we bring you back in?
No.
Okay. You drop it, Harold.
I'm going to walk outside of the dome, and it vanishes when I do so.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I'm going to cast a quick message at Elizabeth again. Are you still in there?
Yeah, I am.
You aware at all of what's going on right now?
It's weird. I wasn't before, but I think something happened. It's sorta vague. But I think I'm getting a sense of what's happening.
Well, with any luck, and with any luck, maybe the two of you can start working together now. And I will relay a similar message out loud. And let Elizabeth help you.
And how's she going to do anything?
She knows more about what's going on here.
We'll think about it. Until I get back,
Reniel
I'm staying in control.
Reniel is a testament of what can happen when the two of you work together instead of against each other.
Like I said, I think about it. Maybe if my back's against the wall. For now, though, I'm tired of all this talking, and I've got a splitting headache.
I just extend my hand to the portal.
She nods and she walks through.
Was that the right thing to do?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, what next?
Reniel starts sucking the sand back up into the rod.
It's like a vacuum cleaner noise.
Well, I'd say our next stop is Misty Gales, like we planned.
Yeah. Oh, I should ask Cyrus for that rapier. He's probably somewhere close by, right?
You imagine it's probably in one of the tents or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to that tent then.
Okay.
Everyone is free to join me if they wish.
All right. Reniel will follow along.
Okay. You go over to the tent. You see he's still He's resting, but he is still awake.
How's it going?
Fine enough. Don't know what the heck we're all gonna be doing after this, though.
How is the town? Was it like is there any injured or were there any casualties?
Plenty of injuries, but doesn't look like nobody died. You guys did really good out there.
Thank you.
Is everyone accounted for?
Yeah, everyone's accounted for.
Don't undermine yourself. You did a pretty good job too.
I tried, though it was more he brandishes the rapier, this thing.
Yeah, but that belonged to Glenn, and I'm sure he would have been proud of you, what you did today.
He gives a bit of small smile and says, well, thanks for that at least.
And I've seen in action what that thing would have done to you if you hadn't made those modifications.
Yeah.
So you definitely know what you're doing on that end.
I always wanted to be like him. Create my own weapons, become a massive hero. I always coveted our family legacy.
Well, if you want to further. Oh, great. Lost it. Hang on. If you wish to live in your family's legacy, there will be an opportunity to do so tomorrow.
What?
Tomorrow, representatives from both Caldwelch and Aaron will be arriving here to survey the damage. The plan from the one who instigated this was that they would start fighting right on the spot. But perhaps if they had the descendants of both Coratha and Glenn tell them that that was not the case, that Caldwelch attacked this settlement, then there will be no fighting.
In fact, 2 members of Caldwell helped us during the attack. You saw that.
Yeah. Really opened my eyes, I'll say that much.
Then we can count on you for vouching that Caldwelch did not attack Donsbury.
Like I was gonna say otherwise.
Well, when we first met you, you were known to have a thing against Caldwelchians.
Yeah, I was. I get that, but I ain't blind. I saw what you guys did, and heck, if you ask around, some of the Caldwelchians living here gave a lot to help make sure everyone was, even the Aryans living in town, were able to escape.
This might be our chance to end this war. The individual behind this whole incident, that's what he wants, is for war to break out. This may be our chance to shut down those ambitions.
We could certainly try. I'll give you the guys that much, and feel free to have me help you in whatever way you can, but for now you guys might want to talk amongst yourselves about that and otherwise get some rest. It's really
Yeah.
freaking late.
Well, there's the other thing is we're going after the guy who incited this, and I kind of need that rapier.
Yeah, I know. And he tosses you it.
I
That
cast
seems
it.
dangerous.
He knows I have a high dexterity mod. Oh god, is he gonna make me roll for it now?
You know what? Sure.
Yeah.
Roll sleight of hand to see if you can catch it.
Okay.
Roll
Does
to
that
not be impaled.
Sleight of hand. I don't have proficiency in that.
Watch
Or-
this
Oh,
be
given what you've been with what you've been rolling today, this might be bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little scared. Yeah.
Rendel's gonna use Mage Hand to catch it.
Okay, well, it was specifically the pommel that was being thrown at you, not the Sharpie bits.
So it like hits me in the head.
Dunk.
Yeah, so it slightly thunks you in the head, and then Radial just made chance to catch you.
Ow. Yeah, I've been having some bad luck today. I like fumble around trying to catch it.
Rendell just has it float in front of Eugene.
And
Yeah.
I'm kind of like hesitant to touch it again, but I grip it.
Alright, you grip it, and you do not feel that same animosity that you felt
You
previously.
immediately stab Reniel through the chest.
How could you, Eugene? I thought we were friends.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, you do not feel the same animosity. You feel completely normal.
I'll be sure to return it. You know, that's if I don't die, of course.
Well, you better not die. I'm gonna be disappointed if you do.
Yeah. I won't die, I should say. I've been trying to be a little more confident.
Alright. Good luck. We'll talk with all the guys tomorrow, and then you go out there and kick the guy who's causing this straight to the curb.
Hmm.
And that is where we will end it off.
Okay. Oh, I'm I'm going back in the history of my roles, and it's like 2, 1,
Yeah, your rolls
2.
were hot garbage today. It is a very good thing this was not a combat session. Well, aside from that one, but
Yeah. The only thing that was successful is the attack I made. And that is,
That's where it counted.
yeah.
I mean, hey, if you all failed, that would have been pretty bad. But hey, anyways, we will see you all next week when hopefully Ice will be back. Until then,